Hi, this is PatiCakes with Hemp Radio, and I am here at the Normal Conference at the Omni Hotel in Los Angeles, and I have Clint Werner with me. Clint, you wrote a fabulous book. What is the title?
Marijuana, Gateway to Health, How Cannabis Protects Us from Cancer and Alzheimer's Disease.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like something we really need. How did you come? Are you a doctor?
No, I have a background in research. I have a master's degree in library science and research. My undergrad degree is in journalism. So I sort of put those together. And I have been researching the history of the medical marijuana movement since 1996, right before Prop 215 passed.
And have you done your own research regarding cannabis protects us from cancer and Alzheimer's? How have you determined that?
Well, I always say I'm a researcher of research. So what I do is I look at what the professionals, the medical professionals have done and published in peer-reviewed medical journals. And the sad thing is there's a lot of evidence that shows that marijuana cannabis has powerful anti-tumor properties on a number of levels, that it has incredible neuroprotective effects and also neuroregenerative effects. In other words, it protects the brain but also triggers intrinsic neurological repair mechanisms within the central nervous system. And so what I did was I started hearing about this science because it's a whole new branch of science that no one knew about. It's only really come to exist since the mid-90s, the body of cannabinoid science. And now we have enough of a foundation and enough data in this field of cannabinoid science to know what the cannabinoids that come from the cannabis plant do. And what they do is supplement compounds we make in our bodies whose job is to interrupt any disease processes that might get a hold on us and to trigger repair mechanisms within our own bodies.
Now, does it matter what form you use the cannabis? Does one form, like smoking, opposed to concentrates, does one work better than the other? Because I have a lot of cancer patients, and they say, how do I use it? What do I use?
Well, that's for palliative effects, for nausea and pain and problems that result from standard cancer treatment. Vaporization is probably best because it delivers a measured amount to the patient really quickly through the lungs, and you don't get the combustion byproducts that you get with smoking, which have some harmful compounds. The interesting thing is, although there is harm in the smoke of marijuana, the cannabinoids are so protective that people who are chronic long-term marijuana smokers actually...
We have a built-in defense.
Yeah, well, the THC protects
exactly.
us, and actually chronic long-term marijuana smokers have less incidence of lung cancer than non-smokers.
Good. So I'll never get it then. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, genes play a strong role, and hopefully you never smoke tobacco because marijuana takes you down this far from getting cancer, but unfortunately tobacco takes you up this far. So it doesn't quite compensate for the harm that the nicotine and tobacco, but it does protect you in general. If you're a non-smoker, you certainly get a lot of protection.
So how do we get all this information out there to the mainstream America?
Well, that's why I wrote my book, because I saw all of this information and the media was either ignoring it, mocking it, or presenting it without putting it in a larger context. They would just report on a little story and let it drop.
So what do we do?
Well, get my book, Marijuana, Gateway to Health, How Cannabis Protects Us.
How do they get it?
You can get it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble online. It's on Nook and Kindle. You can hopefully go to your local bookstore and ask for that because we want to keep bookstores in business. And you can also read Paul Armentano's blog. He writes a lot about cannabis science. And there's a great newspaper, Fred Gardner puts out O'Shaughnessy's. And I think that we have probably the best sources.
We have the tools. All we have to do is get the information out there. Well, I know you're going to be one of the speakers today. Is that correct?
It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And you're going to be telling everybody about cannabis and cancer and Alzheimer's, correct?
I say that using marijuana is health positive behavior. Science supports it, and there's really no argument to contradict that.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to listening to you speak on Saturday. And we're here with Clint Werner, and Clint wrote Marijuana Gateway to Health. So look it up, go get it, and be healthy.
And let's support NORML too.
Support NORML, that's right. Thank you so much, Clint.
Thank you.